It's John Beaudin from Rock History Music. I was just asked like 3 days ago if I ever had a very embarrassing experience while interviewing someone. And I thought, like in 40 years, I can't think of something really bad that made me look like a complete nincompoop. But then I thought, wait a minute, right in front of my face, just a few weeks ago, I interviewed the Guess Who guys, Gary Peterson, the original drummer, and Derek Sharp, who's been their lead singer for quite a long time. We were talking about artists that they played with. Gary Peterson mentions Sass Jordan. And that's when I turned to Derek Sharp and said, "Oh, you've worked with Sass Jordan," because I saw it in the bio. Well, sometimes you should go a little deeper than the bio that an artist sends you, because just watch the video. And by the way, Sass Jordan is in this video because I interviewed her the following week. We all have a good laugh at my expense. I deserved it.
Right.
Derek, you worked with Sass?
You know, I may have. Did you check your notes, buddy?
I did. You didn't?
No?
Oh, okay.
You don't know that we've been married for 27 years?
By the way, did you hear what happened with your husband last week or the week before? Did he tell you?
Oh, it's you? You're the guy?
I'm the guy.
Oh, hey.
I love that you don't know that, because you're like the only guy on earth that doesn't.
I don't know that.
I'm a research pig. But I don't usually do the
The gossip.
Oh, yeah.
What the heck? This is going to make a good blooper reel.
I don't usually, for whatever, he looks at me and so Gary's talking about working with people, and then he says Sass Jordan, and
Luckily you said, "Oh yeah, she's good."
and I say, "Oh, I know you," because he, in his bio that was sent to me, I think through Eric Alper, it says, and he's worked with Sass. Then I go, "So you've worked with," and he says, "I have." And I'm going, I actually turned around during the interview going, "What, am I missing something?" He says, "You might be the only guy on the planet who doesn't know I'm married to Sass Jordan." And then he said something later.
That's awesome.
It makes a fabulous blooper reel, because this is the first time it's ever happened to me.
Then he says something later in the interview, and I said, "I'm starting to wonder if you even know Sass Jordan." Anyway, there you go.
That's hilarious. Well, I was going to ask you, when you asked the first question about Canadian artists that keep going. I mean, Sass would definitely fit in that category. But I just want, do you mean people that are still
Doesn't matter.
making music, or people that have stopped? Because I mean, the list is endless. How many great?
Endless.
That's awesome. Well, Sass, she's still making records. She's still moving. She's like us. We're just moving in that direction. I know a lot. Bryan Adams is the same way. He seems to keep going. There are a lot of people that don't, but it's I can't think. Colin James, he's another guy that keeps putting out a record every year. He's the real deal. People like that, I applaud them because of their tenacity, and they're like, they never rest on their laurels. I think it's probably rare, because it's hard to keep a band together and on the road. It's expensive. It's touring, and especially when you get older. Number two, it's not easy to be creative when you're 20, when you're not 21 anymore. What the hell are you going to write about that's interesting to other people?
I'm doing a 40-part. It's adventurous, but I used to syndicate a show called the Cross Canada Report. I've interviewed a lot of CanCon artists. So it's a 40-part history of Canadian music. Why am I doing this? It's crazy, but and I'm asking every Canadian artist and international artist actually about their what Canadian artists really wowed you. Who out there for both of you?
Age before beauty, Gary.
Well, there's so many. If you're talking modern, Michael Bublé, when I first heard him, I went, "Are you kidding me?" Gordon Lightfoot. I mean, that's as Canadian as it gets. There were great bands in both that are not some of the musicians are still alive today, but in Toronto and Montreal, the old rock and R&B bands, that first time I ever saw them, it was like, "Are you kidding me?" this is incredible. So Canada has produced so much that it's very difficult to say one Sass Jordan, you know. I mean, God, it's Canada has for the amount of people there a plethora of talent in entertainment.
Well, I hope you enjoyed that. It was a good clip on Canadian music, too. And Gary Peterson's a real sweetheart, nice guy. Derek Sharp was a good sport about the fact that I didn't know he was married to Sass Jordan for, what did he say, 24 years, 25 years? And, of course, Sass was a great sport in it, too. I remember going to the radio station. I was a program director here in Calgary at a radio station called The Breeze. And one day, I'd get dressed up in a nice suit, and I'd always like getting dressed up. So I'd go to work. And when I got into my office, I'd usually bring a coffee in and cool down, shut the door. And at one point, I was just meditating before the day starts. Before my staff came in, I looked down. I was wearing black shoes. Then I looked down again. I'm going, oh my God, I'm wearing unmatched black shoes. My first thought was to go to my general manager because I thought it was really funny. I went to him and said, look at this. And he looks and he says, oh my God, you got to go home right away and change your shoes. I said, well, I'm going to show some of the staff first because it's kind of funny. He says, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Because he was kind of an uptight guy. And I went, no, I'm going to go, you got to make fun of yourself, man. So I did that. And then I called my wife and she said, you got to come home and switch your shoes. But sometimes you just got to laugh at yourself. Thanks for watching this video. Hey, please, by all means, share it. I'm John Beaudin. This is Rock History Music. Take care.